Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this soundtown of Halloween. Hey guys, I'm MeeMee and I do Allsorts, and I do apologise for the really god-awful singing. I know I'm tone deaf, but as you can see I have the brand new Disney box from Sophie and Toffee, and it is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, one of my absolute favourite Tim Burton movies. Now if you don't know, Sophie and Toffee do resin boxes. They have a monthly box which is the Allsorts, then do the Disney box which is quarterly, and they're now even doing the new Pixie box. I'm not sponsored and not affiliated, but also as well I do want to point out that I am not the best in doing resin, but I love to give it a damn good try. So anyway, this box couldn't have come into better time, because as I'm filming this we are halfway through October, and of course the theme event is perfect. So as you can see, we have the box, and it is absolutely gorgeous, I have to admit. So you've got the title, you've got Jack Skellington over here with Zero, you've got the iconic hill thing that curls up, and Jack and Sally on top. I have to point out I'm a smidgen bit disappointed at the fact how elongating Jack's head is. Just seems a bit odd considering that everything else isn't stretched out, but you know, it's the subtle details, and I can see from the viewfinder that it doesn't actually look like that, but if I tip it you can actually see that it is a bit elongated. But anyway, details. Right, so the rest of the box, on the front we have Sophie and Toffee with the graveyard scene and a tree. And that's what one side looks like, and as you can see it's in reflective silver foil. And the backing again, Jack's head in 5 different expressions, and it's in the same silver foil. And the title again. I tell you what, this box is actually quite heavy. I do know a couple of projects that you can do in here, but that's all I know. And one of them I am going to be doing in this video, so anyway, I'm down to seeing what else I actually get in this box, and by the way, that was not a pun. So in this box we get, whoa, oh, I'm loving this box even more. Ooh. And so first I noticed, and there's a little Jack and Sally picture down here. And for the rest of the box, and that's what the rest of the box looks like, you know, just a plethora of different drawings. Oh, it just looks amazing. Right, so first up we have our destruction list, and it's got everything in here. I absolutely love the design in it, but I'm not going to look at that because I still want to be surprised. And in keeping with the Halloween theme, we have orange tissue paper. Well, I was trying to get this open and I couldn't figure out why until I flipped it upside down, and we found a sticker which is the same image on the front of the box. Oh gee whiz, I just had to get rid of all of that paper and down to seeing what else is in the box. Alright, and this is what we get. So first up, it looks like the die mould I've seen, and it actually is. So this is actually Oogie Boogie's die. I have never used anything like this before, so it's going to be really interesting to see how it works and how I'm going to fill in all of the die numbers. You can't really see, but this one is the number 4 and it's in the shape of a skull. The same as this one, but it's number 2, and this one is number 3, and so on and so forth. You can't really see it properly, but each side has a skull and its corresponding number. So I'm so looking forward to trying this out. As soon as I seen this mould, I was totally sold on the box, even though that I wanted it anyway because, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas. And by the way, this is actually Disney licensed. You can't really see it, but it does say copyright Disney on there. So everything in this box is officially Disney licensed. You won't find these moulds anywhere else but from the Sophie and Toffee website. Alright, so up next we've got another mould. So we've got different characters on here. So we have this round one here with the pumpkin and the Nightmare Before Christmas and backwards, because obviously when you take it out it'll be reversed. We've got little things down here, what looks like a ghost, a pumpkin, and then there's some really big one. I just wish that I had a better background for it to show up on. I really do love the fact how all of the characters on here are like chibi-fied, which is like so cool. And according to the booklet, this is a badge spinner, which I have no idea what on earth that means, but it'll be interesting to find out. And next up we have 3 big moulds, which are actually our straw moulds. On the straw topper moulds, and then you put on top of these straws, you know, and for like decoration, or if you've gone to party going on, you know, identifying your drinks and whatever. And I thought that was actually really canny. So on this one here, we have Sally, we have that devil doll flying thing, we have a cat, a pumpkin, then some devil duck, and a little ghost. And then on the bottom you get the back parts of the mould, when you stick on the back of the front of the mould. So for the next one we have Jack's face in different expressions. I don't know if you can actually see because I can't. You can someone see him a bit better on this side. So you've got a toothy smile, you've got the classic grin with the half closed eye, another grin, a pout, and a scary face. And then of course all of them corresponding moulds to the back of them when you put them together, right? And the last of the straw moulds is something I have no idea what on earth it is. Oh! I think I actually know what it is now. This is what's going to make like the indent, I suppose, on the inside of the top of them, so you can put your straw in. Because all of these little bits here, if you can see like all of these little bumps, they actually correspond to the divots here, and so it's a 2-part mould. It's a bit of a fiddling one. I've never actually used a mould this big and fiddly before. But essentially then what you do, put them together, cure with them, and then don't know if you can see them there, and especially in like the clear ones there, that's when the straw will go at the end of it. Oh, that's actually quite clever, doing both sides at the same time. But that's actually quite cool, but like I said, it's going to be rather fiddly, and you'll need to have something really heavy on top, because I don't think elastic bands is going to cut it. But that I do like. Right, up next we have one of my worst nightmares, which is glitter. So in this one we have like a yellowy one, and in this one it's white. They are both iridescent, not holographic, because I can only see about 2 or 3 colours shining instead of like the whole rainbow. So add some glitz and glamour. Now here we go, and these are all of the designs that you can get from the straw moulds, and it's really nice and to show you illustrations of how it actually works, which is like super cool and extremely helpful. And apparently these are UV colour changing as well. Good to know, and we shall try that out in a minute. Right, up next we have some open bezels, and all you can do is just fill it up with some resin, and you got some neat little charms. So looking like you can get like 2 masks, and then this one is some Oogie Boogie. And I've never actually seen open bezel charms this small before. Right, up next it looks like it's our badge backers, and that's even a thing. That'll go with that one, whatever that badge spinning thing is. Right, up next we have what looks like some decorations for the straws. You know, these will go with Jack because he's the only one who wears the Santa hat, and of course his iconic cat and bow thing. And we've got some more here in various different Sally, Jack, and even lock, shock and barrel, and even a little funny confrontation between Jack and Oogie Boogie, which is really cute. I actually quite like these cheapified versions. So we've got some more straw molds, so we've gone the part where the straw goes through. We've even got the Santa hat and Jack cat collar thing again. And a beard. So there you can go, a bit more customization. And you can get it's like super cool. So at least we get to do like some really fun customizations. Alright, and last but not least, we have our Nightmare Before Christmas UV Resin. Now obviously this is just normal UV resin, and with the Nightmare Before Christmas sticker on it, and you know, and thing really ties the box in nicely together. Like with the Kingdom Hearts one, you had one with the Kingdom Hearts logo on, and of course in the backing gives the instructions on how to use it, and obviously the warnings before using it. But that is like so cool. I just find it a bit odd that it's in green instead of like purple, you know, to sort of, you know, to tie in with the front of the box a bit better, because the green just seems a bit off. But that's just a personal preference. Alright, and that's the box. Now I have to admit, everything in here is like so awesome. And I cannot wait to start making projects with this. I've been waiting for a good solid 4 months for this box to come out. And honestly, I'm not disappointed. So I'm going to get set up and I'm going to make Oogie's dice. Alright, so I just found out that these are actually UV changing glitters, which is like ultra cool. So this white one is supposed to change to orange, and this lemon yellow one is supposed to change blue. So I'm going to give this a go with my LED light. Don't know if you can see it, I can't see it on the viewfinder that well because it's black from where I'm sat, but it has changed blue. That is so cool. And now from the white. Well, I had someone changed bins and this pan team, but not that great. I think it needs to be under the light a little bit more, but it does actually work. So what I'm going to do, because I wanted to make a couple of these die, I didn't know whether I wanted to use alcohol inks, mica poundings, or what, but after finding out that these are actually colour changing, I wanted to make a set of colour changing dice, so I think that's what I'm going to do. By the way, when you're working with any kind of resin, you need to wear gloves, wear a mask, have windows open, fans on, please be careful and do not do what I do. Unfortunately I don't have any gloves on me, but I will be doing everything else. And something I've just noticed here, because this is UV resin, I don't know why, but every time I get a bottle I always read the instructions, and I've just noticed here that this is actually instructions for how to use the 2-pound epoxy resin, not UV resin. Because with UV resin, you put it into the mould, you cure in for like 2 to 4 minutes. This one says mix be in equal amounts and allow for 12 hours for curing, but this is UV resin. So I don't know what's happened there, but there you go. And I have no idea how much I'm putting it in, but we're going to experiment. I have no idea how much of this glitter I need to put in, but we'll experiment a bit. And I really do hate using glitters because it just gets everywhere. Now I've never used a mould like this before, but I have had a look online, and apparently it's supposed to overfill the top so and all of the resin gets into the little crevices in the top. And I'm just so short. And here's our cute mould, and I'm obviously tempted to mould it. Oh, okay, so for a minute there I actually thought that this wasn't going to work because I thought I defilled him, but I can see the imprint. Now one's just trying to mould it. Oh, I've never taken anything out of a mould like this before. Oh, something's happening. Ooh. Come on. Do it! Yay! It's free! It's free! Okay, so I'm letting curing for a couple more minutes just to make sure, but something that I have noticed with every single UV resin piece that I have done is that it's always sticky afterwards, and I have no idea why. So if anyone out there watching this knows why the resin is sticky after I've cured it. I mean, this has been curing for 10 minutes, like, 5 minutes on top and on the bottom. But no one else seems to have this problem. It's just me with every single piece. But in the wind, this looks so cool, even though then you can't really see the details on it. So I've got both dye here. I've got the white one, which should in theory turn orange, and the yellow one, which in theory should turn blue. So I'm gonna give them a go. And nothing. Well, that's strange. Pound is charged up, but then dye haven't. Then just still the same colour. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. And I put the lines in for quite a while, so clearly I'm doing something wrong. And this is me. I destroy everything I touch. So anyway, I think then these dye actually need to have some details picked out because obviously the dye we need to see the numbers, and so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so for this final sim, I'm going to be picking out all of the details to this. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how on earth I'm going to do this, and what I want to do is like try and use some paint and maybe do a wash to pick out all of the fine details. Now, I have never before done a wash in my life, and what a wash is that you get in some paint, you water it down, you brush it on, and then you wipe it off with the paper towel. And that's something that I've never done before. And hopefully, if that works, then I'll really go in and bring forward some of the other details. So, what I've got planned is use these antis and metallic washes. And you can't see it on the back, but that's what these are. You're getting 12 metallic wash colours. I wanted something a bit shimmery just in time with it, so that's what I'm going to do. So I wanted to do something a bit dark, just like I say, bring out all of the details and not being like too obnoxious. I thought that like the other colours weren't exactly going to work, so I'm going to be using this Pearl Noir one and see how that goes. And so far that is not as dark as I thought it was going to be, but I don't want it to be obnoxiously dark. And we'll see how this goes. I'll see if this works. Ooh, and sort of did. Wiped a little bit too much off, but at least I can see where the eyes, the nose, and the outline is, and like the individual teeth. Ooh, I like that. So at least now I know where I can go, maybe do a dark wash to really bring it out. It's gone a little bit darker so you can actually see the outline. Like I said, I don't want it to be too in your face. I just want to pick out the details. I love the way how you've got like a really subtle outline so you know what the skull looks like. But like I said, I'm going to go in and darken a couple of areas just to really bring it forward a bit more. So I have an teensy little brush here. And again, even though then this is like extremely subtle, at least you're still going to be able to see the glitters underneath, which is like the main aspect to it. And it's not going to take away from it. This is not as close to my face as I would like it to because I'm filming at the moment, but it's working. There you go, you can see that now I've really brought out the teeth. And the eyes and the nose a bit more, and that's what I'm actually going for, which is fantastic. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to keep working back and forth on these, so one's drying whilst I'm working on the other, and we'll see the end result. Okay, and so far in this one I can actually see where I haven't filled didn't go around as much as I should have. I did underestimate how much UV resin that I was putting in, so I've got like all of these deep indents. So there you go, kids. Lesson learned. You need to put more resin in than you actually need. I know it's going to be a waste, but at least you're not going to get into, like, imperfections like these. Alright guys, and there you have it, my Oogie Boogie die. Now I have to admit, I really thoroughly enjoyed this project because it's like my first ever like 3D object. I'm on about actual 3D shapes in a cube, so it was actually really interesting to do. I mean, as you can see, I think that these actually came out really well. I am going to be sealing these afterwards because the paint is sort of coming off in my hands, if you can see there. This sealer from Sophie and Toffee. But it will take a while to dry. I did do it on this number 1 and the number 6, but it was taking quite a while for it to dry, so I will be doing that off camera. But I do love the way how the wash was subtle enough to bring forward the details, so you can see which number is which, you can see the skulls, you can see other details like the teeth, and you can also still see the glittery resin underneath. Also as well, I don't know what it was, but if you can see earlier when I tested down the UV changing glitter, and you know, and one of them changed to blue, one of them was meant to change to orange, but it sort of subtly did. Unfortunately, I did put these under UV light and for quite some time, and nothing changed afterwards. I think the way I'm still happy with the way they came out, and they do work as dye, which I'm not going to demonstrate right now because it is kind of a bit echoey in my room, and any little thing that drops, you know, my neighbours will be able to hear it, so I'm not going to be doing that. But, you know, it's a die, it works like a die, and it's got 6 sides, it's got 6 numbers. But I would actually love to make more of these, and I have actually seen some people make jewellery out of them, so that's something that I would love to look into. And hopefully experiment a bit more with like different combinations, you know, maybe use alcohol inks, use different colours, you know, build up layers, and you know, the possibilities are absolutely endless, and I would so love to do that next time. But all in all, I can send it was a fun project and I absolutely loved every minute of it. Alright, and that is the Nightmare Before Christmas Disney box. And by the time this video comes up, this box won't be on sale anymore, but the Disney boxes, you do have like about 3 or 4 months to pre-order the next one if you're interested. But don't worry, they do sell the mould separately on the website, so if you want to make the die, you can get the die. If you want to make the straw toppers, you can get the straw toppers. If you guys would love to have your own box, whether it's the monthly Elves box or the quarterly Disney box, I'll leave a link in the description box below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.